We'll be right back with more Jaylyn Bishop.
Me and you, like Cagney and Lacey, or Scott and Bailey.
Or maybe a partnership where one of them is a man.
Yeah, team us.
I must say this is irregular.
How the zinnias getting along?
It's a heathen's morning in Los Angeles.
Listen, Bob, I'm the best, and if you can't see it, you're an idiot.
And now, from America's Hat,
Do you mind if I say a few words?
Here's that weird-sounding woman again.
it's LAAF podcast guest host,
She was the greatest of them all.
Carla Collins.
I know what you mean, if you know what I mean.
She's
Have they forgotten what a star looks like?
Carla Fornia Dreamin'.
Okay. All right. Yep.
So nobody's
and the
whispering
doctor's
things.
like, listen, that's like I should grow out of it or something. I'm like, I'm ticklish, dude. I don't know what to tell you. When he comes in with that light thing,
Oh, I thought
I'm
you meant
already
your
laughing.
doctor was whispering in your ear. I was like,
Well-
that's a different doctor's office.
It's also a different show.
Yeah.
I don't like to talk about it on this. I try to keep this professional.
And I'm like, I want to know what doctor office that is, because when you're in a dry spell, I'm
I
like,
know there's such an easy gynecologist joke, and I so go for the low-hanging fruit, but I won't. So this is usually where I like talk pop culture, but I will tell you that last weekend, Jimmy, on Saturday night, Jaylyn, Stacey Lynn Fletcher, fan of the show and Patreon member, Veronica, my friend Lee Rachel Faith, who's a beast, by the way, and I can't keep up. So I'm really glad she's out of town now so I can get some sleep.
She wore you out?
Oh, I can't. She's a ride or die, but, I think one more day and I die. I can't.
Uh-huh.
that's
But
why we're drinking tea now.
Yeah, that's
we
right.
all went to Edwin Mills to see Grace and the Grandbirds play.
Oh, that's right.
And it was spectacular. I had a bunch of friends there. Ryan, your buddy who does the
Constant
Pilates, all the
yoga.
constant yoga and lunges
Ryan
was
is
there
constant
next to
yoga
us. So we
guy.
were all there supporting Grace. And we got into a topic that I thought, that's what we'll talk about when Jaylyn's on the show.
Ooh.
So this bit is, and I'll just do quickly and then let her take over because she wins this one.
Right.
Like it's Jaylyn won, the rest of the world nothing. So I was talking about how in comedy, sometimes we are forced to do comedy in very difficult places. Like when I have to follow strippers or burlesque dancers, and I'm like, no one wants to hear comedy right now. Here's my Yoda impression. Show us your dance. What? Stop telling jokes. This is the word. And I performed in a hospice. All of us were dying a little that afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
So under some pretty, like the dojo where it was 300 kids that had just so much chocolate on their faces that it looked like little Jackson Pollock paintings that still haven't gone to sleep. And I had to do it in the middle of the ring. And I'm like, this is highly irregular.
And those kids could kick your ass.
Oh, well, and they're like, the kids won't even listen to you, but because I look like a live version of Barbie from Ross, where there's a little something wrong with her, a dollar store Barbie, if you're drinking from a distance. The kids all thought I looked
Bootleg
shiny.
Barbie?
They were all in there. I did my entire act with a toddler in my arms who was asking me for Christmas that I'd like Malibu Barbie. I'm like, bitch,
they
does it
thought
look
you
like
were-
I have money? I'm at a dojo on a Saturday in the valley.
That's hysterical.
Working like an old whore at a half-price sale. But then Jaylyn was telling me that she did, I've never heard this from a comic. You did comedy in New York at a laundromat.
Yes, at a laundromat. And that was probably, it was a fluff and joke. And that's what the name
I
of it was
thought it was
called.
a porn thing
Yeah, it
when
was
she
Fluff
first
and
told me
Joke.
this.
Yeah.
And you would go into like a fluff and fold place, and it was a legit comedy club. Like people were washing their clothes, drying their clothes, and you're right in front of the dryers. And there is nothing better than having like an old Puerto Rican lady go, Mila, Mila, Mila. Give me half of the dry, you throw the other half and do your little show, Mila, okay? Oh, that's good. No, don't touch the underwear, Mila. Hand them here. You're like, oh, thank you, ma'am. Put another quarter in. It was like the craziest, but it was fun. They would come in and they were ready. They were ready. As soon as like people would get mad if somebody was going to the wash. Because, like, if they had to wash, you heard the and they're like, hey, turn that off. We're washing this show. You're so rude.
You have like,
hey, put another 75 cents in. I know, I'm bored. And they would get up and walk past you, and the stage was a cart.
The stage,
yeah,
air
it was
quotes.
a cart that was a laundry cart that was flipped over that had a little
Not
black,
even safe to stand on.
Oh no! And we
not
knew we
even
were going
table
to die.
dance
worthy.
We knew we were going to die, but we were such
Yeah.
new comics, and we loved it. We didn't care. Like I've
Right?
done jokes on the subway. That was terrible because you always got accosted by a homeless person. And
Like heckled or just physically?
most of the time, it would be a homeless person saying, "Hey, you got some drugs on you or something? Hey, man, I know you up here trying to tell these jokes, but I want to get high." And you're like, "Well, can I just get my 2 jokes off first?" "Yeah, then hand me that cord because I'm finna tie off."
Punchlines before coke lines is Jaylyn's mantra. Please let me do. And you know what's funny? You do it all these crazy places.
Oh,
and
my
then
gosh.
you're at like a comedy club, or like Jaylyn does all the time. We'll get into that on a cruise ship or in a theater, and like I'm like a trophy wife comedian tonight.
Oh yeah, you feel
I'm
so
spoiled.
special.
Yeah.
My goodness, look at this with an attentive audience, and it's not a Japanese game show. This is terrific.
Oh, yeah.
Not some Squid Game scenario where you have to just survive.
Oh, on the ship. I was doing a 6:45-ish show, right? And a large group of Asian people come in, and I'm thinking, wow, this is, maybe they looked at my name, saw Jaylyn, and thought, I was Asian. So I was like, all right, cool, but my picture's out there, and I think you can tell. So I was like, oh, maybe it's a different part of Asia. I'm not thinking about it, right? And they're sitting there, and I noticed, like, after about 15 minutes, they're just starting to look at me all strange. And one of the ladies raised her hand, and she goes, "Excuse me." I said, "Yes." She goes, "Is this a bingo?" And I said, "No, this is not bingo." She goes, "Oh, no, we've sit here for 20 minutes. It's a bingo. Somebody's going to call numbers." I was like, oh, shit.
Under the B, bitch.
She literally thought it was bingo. And I had like 45 people just sitting in there waiting for bingo.